Welcome to Motivate You, the winner circle here on thisis50.com. Your host, June Archer, and my guest today, the awesome, amazing vocalist, songwriter. You know him, had the #1 single of his debut album, Bad, coming out with a new album, getting ready to do some new things,
Yeah.
new ventures. Please welcome to the show, Jay Holiday. Jay Holiday, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? Appreciate you for having me, bro.
Man, listen, I am excited about what you have coming. You got the new album dropping today. It is in stores. It's getting ready to set up the album. How have you been during this whole COVID situation in terms of being creative? I mean, you're getting ready to drop an album, right? But
Right.
during COVID, how has it been for you?
Man, we actually planned on dropping it last year, so we kind of had to push it back, just to kind of, get our feet under ourselves and realize, things are going to be different. Selling music, especially with the pandemic going on, I'm like a grassroots type of artist, so I like to be in the people's faces, and obviously right now we can't. So it's just been weird, man. Just figuring out the new lanes and the new ways to stay motivated and stay inspired and just figuring out a new way to get the music to the people, man. But for the most part, man, I've been cool, man.
I mean, 2006 was not that long ago. You dropped Back in My Lack, and you came back with round two.
Right.
Had an opportunity to take a stint and went over to Def Jam, released a mixtape. Throughout that duration, man, how have you felt R&B music has been treated in commercial or just amongst the people?
I mean, it's been slightly disrespected a little bit,
Let's
I
talk
just
about it.
I just feel like, I know how to rap, but that's not my lane. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm gonna stay in my lane. And I just feel like a lot of people been crossing the line over, they weaving the car on the highway into the R&B lane. And I just feel like, and now people, like, especially the kids, they don't know what R&B is anymore. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I just wish more people in the R&B game would speak up and not be so scared to just voice their opinion about it, because the longer we let it go on, man, eventually, man, it's just gonna dissipate out, man, and I'm just trying to do my part to just keep people understanding that R&B is this and that is that. You know what I mean? So it's a weird conversation to have, you know what I mean? I think it's a conversation that nobody really wants to touch on, but it is what it is, I guess.
And I understand it. I think that, you never want to be the person in the room to kind of hate, but when you look at your body of work, you look at Raheem Devon, you look at
Right.
Carl Thomas, you look at some of the crooners, right? It makes it the shift a little different because you guys are true R&B artists, right? You are crooners. You're making love songs, right?
Right.
For you, what would be the best scenario moving forward to be able to bring back real R&B music?
They need to outlaw auto-tune. Real talk. That'll fix the whole situation.
All right.
I mean, they need to outlaw auto-tune. Auto-tune don't make you a singer, but like I said, the kids don't understand that. The kids don't get it.
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like, and you can speak on this, when you talk about some of the artists that came before,
Right.
Guy, New Edition, you're talking about real love songs. You're talking about when you went to high school, your class song was Make It Last Forever.
Right.
I find it hard to really try to figure out, like, what is this generation going to have as songs that represent their journey or their class when they graduate? Like,
I mean, there's some songs out here, I mean, they'll have something. It won't be those type of records, you know what I mean? And like you spoke on Carl Thomas, that's one of my mentors. You know what I mean? I just talked to him maybe like 2 weeks ago, and he's trying to get me involved on a project that he's working on, something that's gonna be real dope. You know what I'm saying? If it comes to fruition, but
not if, Jay. I'm gonna stop you right there.
I have no control over it, so
when we're gonna speak it into existence, we're gonna speak it into existence because Carl is my guy, and if he's a part of it and he got you, thinking about it, we're gonna speak it into existence. This is
Yeah,
what COVID has taught me, man. Like this, there is no separation between reality and percent. Now we have to be able to speak. Think we have the time to make our magic happen like
right.
no other time. You guys are some powerhouses, man. So for me, I'm speaking into existence.
Yeah, I mean, it's dope. I can't really speak on it, but this situation is gonna be a dope situation. And he just asked me to be a part of the writing and some of the just putting some of the basically the concepts and stuff for the songs that he's working on for this project. So, and he told me one time, he was like, "Man, just keep your foot on their neck, man," because I came in the cusp of
Right.
of them and then the new era, So he was like, just keep your foot on their neck, and that's all I've been trying to do, man. It's just make sure that I stay true to R&B, and I stay true to my sound, and I stay true to me, you know.
You've always been that artist to stay in your lane, stay true, stay authentic. Take me back now. Your mom was very instrumental in making sure that education was
Yeah,
first when you were growing up,
yeah,
and saw to it that you finished, your education at a point where it gave you the opportunity to jump and dive in head first with your music.
right.
How was that experience of holding you accountable and being focused and being disciplined help you as your career started to flourish?
Man, I didn't understand. Like, I wanted to be the child star. Like, I wanted to, man, let me do it now. And she's like, no, you're gonna at least finish high school. And for me, I didn't understand why she did that. I feel like child stars have a harder way to go. You know what I mean? Because they're kids, but they're around all of this adult stuff. You know what I mean? And I wasn't ready to handle none of that at that age. Not seeing like the things that the Chris Browns have gone through and the Justin Bieber's, and like if you notice, they all have a crazy journey. And
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was keeping
yeah,
she was
yeah.
keeping me away from that. And she just always told me, man, be a leader, not a follower, and never let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. As far as like my talent or what I go after. You know what I'm saying? And just stay true to myself, man. She drilled it in my head, man. Just that leader thing, like be a leader, not a follower. Because if I was a follower or if I had that kind of mindset, then I would have I would have tried to go into the other lanes and do all of that stuff. But it's just not how I was raised or how I was. That's just not what was drilled in my head coming up as a kid.
And now taking it a step further as we're moving into the future, that leadership mentality has allowed you to go ahead and kind of go out on your own now, independent.
Right.
Uh, Company pushing your record as an independent, doing your thing. How are you feeling? How excited are you about this next chapter? I mean, you had Capitol Records, you had Def Jam, and now
Yeah.
you're doing your own thing. For you, how are you feeling about stepping into this new piece of your journey?
Man, honestly, bro, I've just wished the major labels acted right. Cause I mean, I love being independent because you got more creative control, you make more money. All of that is fine and dandy, but it's a struggle, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's a struggle just because it's a competition thing. The labels got thousands of workers and employees that handle all the stuff that we got to do just as a small group of people. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so it's a struggle sometimes, but I love it because I mean it forces you to step up to the plate, you know. Things that I didn't necessarily want to do or like in the past, I had to swallow that pride and dive into it. So, I mean, I feel good about it, man. I feel blessed to be able to, I feel blessed to have the talent to be able to do it and the know-how because, some people try it and just don't know what's going on. They don't have no kind of business savvy, anything. So I feel blessed to have learned what I've learned so far, and I'm still learning, and I'm gonna learn more, and try to pass it down to these artists that I'm about to put out. You know what I mean?
For you, for those who are looking to get into the business, they're trying to figure out, hey, did I go the independent route? Do I try to get a major record label situation and distribution? You've seen both sides of the coin at this point.
Right.
For you, is there a word of advice? Is there pro and cons that you could share just quickly with those who might be saying, you know what, he's done it on both sides. I wonder how it's going to work out. Because you went from having a number one record,
Mm-hmm.
record selling millions of records,
Right.
to now you have to do all the work. So
Right.
for the person coming in, like you are the art department, you are the A&R, you are
Everything.
production, songwriter, you got to work on publishing and licensing. Like for you, what is the best piece of advice that you could give someone who's at that crossroad trying to figure it out? What should I do? Should I go pursue a major label or should I do the independent thing?
I say it's pros on both sides. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna try to deter anybody from doing something that they feel in their heart they should do. Like if you want to do the major label thing, the only thing that I would stress, never sign a 360. Do not sign
Mm,
a 360 deal. It's a negotiation. If they want you, they will negotiate with you. Period. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Don't make them feel, don't let them make you feel like you have to sign that 360. Now, if you're gonna do the independent thing, know what you're doing. Study, uh, no contracts. Just know the ins and out of the whole system because you're gonna have to deal with it. So independent is great if you have the know-how or even if you're willing to learn. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not willing to learn and you don't really know what's going on, then a major label might be a better route for you, but don't do that 360. You know what I mean? That 360 is deaf to all artists.
it seems like you've been getting a lot of education, especially since you've left the majors.
Hmm.
For you mentioned Carl Thomas being one of them. Like, who were some of your other mentors uh, that allowed you to fail and give you advice and pour into you? Like, who are some of those individuals?
Man, Carl, Dave Hollister, um, Raheem, we from the same spot. So, he's always like, man, like this is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? Because Raheem's been pretty much independent his entire career.
Pretty much the entire career, right?
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Since
So
God, like he's been doing it since.
right, and just people like that, Genuine's like my big brother. I just every now and then I make a phone call and I'm like, yo, what you think about this? And they'll just tell me the honest truth. Um, but yeah, that like Carl has been like one of the major ones that I can actually really, really talk to because he went through the whole system, the bad boy system and all that. So, he's seen the ups, downs, the middles, you know what I'm saying? So Carl, man, a good dude, good dude.
Is there a piece of advice or a gem that you could share with someone that's going through it who may be discouraged? This music thing will have you up, down,
Boy,
flipped up,
yeah.
get a couple of no's. People don't want to listen to your record. Like, has there been a piece of advice that you've been given that allowed you to see the light at the end of the tunnel, gave you hope, or just allowed you to keep going? Because, oh man, I remember when such and such said, if this happened, look at it from this perspective.
I think one time I saw Steve Harvey talking, and something that he said was, "Don't be discouraged by your failures. Like
Mm,
you have to fail to succeed. There's no such thing as succeeding if you haven't failed yet. So like you just can't get discouraged. It's a tough skin game. You gotta have really tough skin, and just believe in yourself, man. Like if you believe you can do it, you'll make it happen some way. Just believe in yourself and don't be scared to fail. Failure is
mm.
gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like it's all of the major artists have failed at some point. One of their songs didn't hit or whatever. You know what I mean? And you just can't be scared to fail.
How important is it for young artists and producers to understand the process, whether it's a major label situation or independent situation? How important is it to learn the process? Because you just talked about it. There are some major artists who have failed. They
Right.
they had a record that they thought was hot and
Right.
it didn't do well, right?
Just a
And
brick.
there's that, there's that disparity. Like, oh
Right.
man, and then you have the uber successful person, right? And they sold 10 million the first time. The second
And then
time they
when
sold
they
a million,
fail,
and
they
they're like,
lose
"Oh, you failed. You, but I
it.
sold a million though. Like I still went platinum. And like, but you did 10 times platinum last time. That's
Right.
like talk about that piece of it. Like, what best advice can you give them to let them understand that you got to understand the process, and sometimes you got to trust the process.
Man, don't get into it for the fame, man. Like the process is gonna be the process. You know, fame comes with it. You know what I mean? If you reach 3 people that didn't know you, you famous. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I look at it. You know, you can't just get into it for the fame, because if you get into it for the fame, you're not gonna study. You just gonna think,
Mm.
I want the song, I'm famous now. And that's just not how it works, especially now with the streaming and all of that. Like, boy, you
A
gotta
different ball game. It's a
it's
different
a
ball game
different ball game. And I hate it, but what can I do about
now. In order to
it?
stay, alive, you got to play the game right now.
You gotta play the game. You gotta learn how to switch up your game. Like basketball players do it all the time. Like, oh, I'm about to play Jordan tonight. So I can't play defense like this. I gotta play like this, or I gotta run my offense like this. Like you have to learn the process, and it's that in every aspect of life. It doesn't matter if you singing, rapping, if you building buildings. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like it changes. The type of materials you use is going to change as the years go. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know the process of whatever it is that you're doing, because if you don't, that's when you're setting yourself up to fail. That's a different type of failure. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? So
Now I love that. What I love too, man, is I love the how artists develop. For you, who are some of the artists that you listen to that help you develop and create the Jay Holiday that we know and love?
oh man, what artist didn't? What's funny is I listen to a lot of Pac, man. A lot of Pac. Pac was my favorite rapper. Which shit, still my favorite rapper. But man, the Fugees, Goody Mob, um, and that's just on the rap side. But then like of course, I was in a group, so we listened to the Jodeci's, the Boys to Men's, the Jagged Edge, the 112, the Drew Hills. Like we studied. How can you set yourself apart if you don't study who your competition is? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We didn't want to sound like them, so we had to study them to learn how not to sound like them. Then when I came into my own, I was super Marvin Gaye head, and it was just like Marvin Gaye, Carl Thomas, um,
Mm.
Tank. Like I said, Genuine's my big brother, and it's like it's just you. I'm a little bit of all of those artists that I just named. Like every single one, I'm a little bit of something. Whether it was, man, I want to look like a rapper, but I want to sing. I
Right.
was that.
Right. Right.
That was
Right.
one of the things that it was just like they were trying to tell me I couldn't dress like I was from the hood, and I was like, "What are you talking about? I can't dress like I'm from the hood." Jaheim came in and started that.
Right. 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 Jodeci started. Jodeci came into
Jodeci
doing.
started it for real, for
Yeah.
real. So it's like, how you gonna tell me that I can't do that? They was like, man, you gotta wear suits and that. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I mean, I grew up in church. I don't want to wear dress clothes every time I get on stage, you know. And yeah, man, I'm a little bit of all of those artists, man. Just I can't help but give credit to all of them.
No, that's dope. All right. So let me ask you this then. I'm gonna put you on the hot seat.
Okay.
Your top 5 R&B artists of all time, dead or alive, who would they be?
Marvin Gaye, Maxwell, uh, me, of course. Nah, I'm just playing. Marvin, Marvin Gaye, Maxwell, D'Angelo. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, man. I listen to a lot of Tank, but like I be trying not to name people from my hometown because it's like, you just saying that because they're from your hometown. Um, man, Charlie Wilson. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Phenomenal voice. And it's like I be wanting to say R. Kelly, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's a tough one. But I mean, we could.
you know what
I
I'm saying?
thought,
It's like I hate that his life ended up being what it was, but the man, his body of work, like you can't take that from him, man.
so let's talk about that then. I mean, can you separate the body of work from the man, even though the man has fallen? Right? Because I found myself
I
as
can't
I'm
now.
getting in for this interview, I'm listening to the best of both worlds. But I love Jay, right? Like I'm a Jay-Z head.
Dope album.
It's a dope album, but can you separate it? And it's the same conversation with MJ, with Michael Jackson. Like
Right.
can you separate the man from the music and still be able to appreciate the music? Because if you take away the music,
I can.
then you take away Aaliyah, you take away Changing Faces, you take away Charlie, you take away Mr.
Uh,
Biggs. There's a couple of things that
that wouldn't have happened. I
right?
mean, I can, and I just try not to bring it up because it's a sore subject for some people, you know.
It's a real
So,
subject for a lot of
so,
people. Yeah, I get
so
that.
for you, it was like, nah, all right, cool. No, I get what you're saying. So we can have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like the man was phenomenal. But then it's like you go back and listen to certain songs and you're like, oh, he was telling us, man.
You speaking through the music.
He was telling us the whole time. We just wasn't listening.
No, we
But
was caught up in the music. We were caught up in the music, right? So you
but
tend
yeah,
to
man,
kind of
I could separate it. It's hard though, because I got two daughters, man. So it was like, you know, I
right.
still since the Surviving R. Kelly thing came out, I still have not played another R. Kelly song yet. I just haven't been able to bring myself to do it yet.
Yeah, what
You know,
mine was like hazard of what I was doing. I wanted to hear Jay, and there was
I
a
got
specific song I wanted to hear, and it just happened to be Best of Both Worlds.
you. Yeah.
So
Go,
uh,
go, 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 go. You
you
know
know
what
what I'm talking
I'm
about.
saying? Yeah, I get
I
it.
gotta tell you. I gotta
I
tell
get
you.
it. I get it.
Um, a lot of people been going through a lot of stuff, man, over the past 9 months, Jay. Whether they're losing their jobs, losing their homes, they've lost a loved one, they're sick themselves, just anxiety. Maybe they just, you know, COVID anxiety and COVID stress has gotten them down. Unfortunately, you lost your dad at a young age, and
Right.
and you've been able to have the opportunity. You know, you had your mom that allowed allowed you the ability to have a life to fulfill your dreams. For people that have lost someone, you've gone through it, and sometimes, you know, sometimes we're told you can't teach a boy to be a man if you're not a man.
Right.
But we know that you exemplify everything that you're doing, and you being a dad of two daughters lets me know that you've had some amazing male figures in your life along this journey. How did you get through those tough times not having your dad uh, along this journey?
Man, the streets, bro. Honestly. I mean, you know, like my mom's a preacher, you know, so she was always Bible thumping me, like, oh, hit me over the head with the Bible. Bow. Like, so a lot of stuff I couldn't take to her. Oh, that's my fault. That's yeah. But a lot of stuff I couldn't take to her. You know what I mean? I couldn't I like, you know, like you could one no sex conversations, you know, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
already knew what she was
yeah,
gonna
you wasn't
say.
having it. Now it's the PK, you wasn't having that. The PK, she's like, we're not doing
It
that.
wasn't none of that.
We're not doing that. We're not doing
You
that.
know, and so you know, she would always be like, those, you know, she was the one that taught me you don't need to fight. Like if you can't
Mhm.
talk yourself out of a situation, then I don't know, you better run or something, but you don't need to fight. Like fighting is, you know, in her mind it was stupid. And then it was just like, but sometimes you have to though. Like, you know, so then I would have to talk to the homies, like, man, you know, man, my mom gonna be mad I got in a fight. She's not even gonna be mad I lost if I lose. She's just gonna be
Right.
mad I got in a fight at all.
Period. Yeah, yeah.
Like, so she couldn't teach me that stuff, you know. So yeah, man, I would just say the streets or my big cousins and stuff like that, man. You know, just
No,
it was just the hood, man.
it's tough. And in these days and times, you know, we George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown. For you, how important is it? Even raising two daughters, how important
Oh, I
is
have
it?
five sons, but I was just speaking on
Oh,
my daughters. Yeah,
okay. So
I was speaking on my daughters because of, you know, the whole situation we were
right,
just talking
right.
about. But yeah,
So
man,
my point is to you then. How important is it for us to have positive male role models and positive male figures in our communities to kind of show our young men, especially our young men of color? You see what's happening on television with law enforcement, and not all those in law enforcement are bad. We have
right.
friends in law
I
enforcement,
know some
we have
close.
family in law enforcement. But how important is it that we teach them, listen, when you're right, you're right. When you're wrong, and just holding yourself accountable.
Man, I mean, it's very important. I mean, you know, my mom never, I mean, you know, racism, everybody's racist to a fault. You know what I'm saying? You might not think you are, but if you like the man is after me, you're racist. Like at the end of the day.
But
But
we all have biases. We all have
yeah,
biases. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's important because like these kids out here, bro, they are on 1,000, man. And I know a bunch of gangbangers, but they the old heads, they the OGs, and they just like, bro, we can't control them. Like it's sad when the OGs can't even control the young G's no more, bro. Like
yeah,
so,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
they try. You know what I mean? It's very important for people to see that, especially young black men, because if they don't, man, they just gonna go down the wrong path, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like the prison was built for it's waiting for you. Oh, it got an open bed for you right now if you want to go.
Oh,
You
the
know what I'm
system is
saying?
ready. The system is in place. If you want to do that, if
If
you
you
want
want
to
to
do that,
go,
the system is there. The system is
you know
ready.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like you want to cock bang bang all day long, then that's just know what's waiting for you. It ain't nothing but a jail cell or a headstone. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they really understand that. You know, they don't. They not. They. It's crazy for them to be like, "Yo, I'm happy I made it to 21," and
yeah,
I'm
man.
like,
That's
"What?
sad. That's sad. That's not even living. You haven't even lived
21?
yet. 21 is
It's
21 is
nothing,
you're just getting started.
right?" And I'm 39. I'm like, man, I'm almost at 40. At first, I was like, man, I'm getting old, and now I'm like, nobody's getting old no more, bro. You know what I'm
Nah.
saying? Like, like, like King Von, like that's crazy. Like, just it's crazy, man. Like Bankroll Fresh. It's crazy how many names we can just name off young
Oh, we
guys.
can name. We can keep going. We can.
Tupac
It's
20,
crazy.
Tupac was 26.
It's crazy. Crazy
Like 26. Like now that I'm 39, I'm like 26 wasn't nothing.
at all. At
Like
all.
I don't know, man. It's just hard. It's hard. It's important. And I just think everybody's in their own bubble, man, and not realizing the impact that we can have on on our neighborhoods or the community or whatever. I don't think nobody care no more, bro.
Yeah, we definitely have to do better, man. And I think we will. I think we're trending in the right direction. And we just need those, these brothers, these black and brown brothers to go out and just, show the way, man. Go out there and educate people on whatever it is that you're a practitioner of and teach them and say, listen, you can have a career in doing this or career in doing that and make money and bring it back to your hood, bring it back to your family and everyone just elevate. I'm I want to talk about this new project, man. New single out, Ride off the upcoming album Time.
Right.
What was the inspiration behind this project?
Oh man. So it's crazy that we just had the conversation that we had. So I always often tell people that being in the industry is like doing time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
They tell you when to eat. You lose a lot of sleep. You stressed out. You know what I'm saying? And when the analogy of telling you when to eat is they decide if you make money or not. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like even with my time off, I was good, and everybody's like, "What happened to Jay Holiday? He fell off," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm actually cool. Like I wake up at 12, 1 o'clock whenever I want to. I've had a 9 to 5 job before this, and I'm happy I don't have to do that. And when I have to get up, I get up, and I make things happen. I make moves, but um, I don't know, man. It's just I don't know, man. It's this whole industry and everything, bro. It's just so crazy that you realize time don't stop.
Mm-mm.
It don't. I took a break and now we streaming, and I'm like, ah, oh my god,
Like a
I gotta,
lifetime went
I
by.
gotta
Oh,
catch
lifetime
up.
went by.
I gotta catch up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that's basically the concept, and it's just getting people to see, man. As the days click by, 2020 went by so fast but slow. It's like the pandemic happened, so we all had to sit down and like take a look at ourselves. But
Yeah.
it was over like that. Like now we in 2021, and it's just like people still like, man, I didn't accomplish anything last year,
They were so
and
focused on the negative. They were so focused on what they couldn't do and not kind of focus on what they can do and what
yeah,
they can learn
or planning for when it's
or planning for it.
when it open back up. It's gonna be some people that have no plan. Like, dude, what was you doing for the last year?
That's
Like,
going to happen. That's going to happen.
it's gonna happen for some
It's
people,
going to happen for a lot of people.
and so it's just the Time album is just basically to try to open people's eyes to enjoy life, bro. enjoy it because here today, gone tomorrow, man. You know what I'm saying? None of us win this game of life. None
Nah,
of
everyone, you can win while you're here, but at the end of the day,
us.
it's the same. It's the same. It's the
At
same.
the end of
What
the day, everybody's going to say game over.
what record? What record? On this album, if someone's just picking it up for the first time, they pick it up and they want to play something. What's the one song that you say, you know what? I want you to go to this track. You know, press play on this particular record, and it give you a great insight to the album. And I know all those songs are your babies, right? So it may
Right.
be hard. It's like picking your favorite child. I get it, but
Right.
if you say, June, man, like for you, I want you to drop. I want you to drop this particular record. I want you to listen to this record, and you kind of get where I'm coming from on this album. What song would that be?
The first song we dropped the song 25 to Life um, towards the beginning, or like the end of 2019, just to kind of like let people know the album was coming. It's and 25 to Life is me having a conversation with music, you know,
Mm,
and just talking about how I'm ready to do that time. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm ready to do the either it's gonna be 25 more years or it's gonna be life. But whatever it is, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. So yeah, I would say go to 25 to life.
no, I love it, man. Music is a soundtrack to our lives. For you, what song best represents your journey up to this point, or which artist inspires you to go out and get that bag, to live your best life, to be the dad that you are, to be the artist that you are?
Man, you gotta go to the most timeless record that anybody could think of. Plus it's by my favorite artist, Marvin Gaye. What's going on? You know,
Mm,
that record is timeless and you can play it right now and it's relevant. It's just like what's going on out here, bro? what's what's really going on? Because it's
yeah,
I don't know, man. Like, and it's America. You know what I'm saying? I love being from America, but then it's just like, man, if y'all travel the world, you will see people are living,
right,
and
right.
we hating on each other. I don't know, man. America is a amazing but weird place.
It's a weird place for you. How important is it? You were able to travel, man, touring and going all over the globe. How important is it to inspire young people, especially young people of color, to get their passport to travel? I understand right now we're not going to do too much traveling, but I
Right.
am hopeful. I know this too shall pass. We will get back to traveling. But how important is it to have a passport to experience different cultures and different lands across this globe?
Man, it's very important, bro. Like I remember one time my homie from back home, we was just talking, we was having some kind of conversation, and he was like, where's your next show? And I said, Wyoming. And he said, where that's at? I'm like, dude, it's a state. He like, for real, that's a state. He thought he was asking me what state was Wyoming in.
He
And
thought you meant over on Wyoming and Park. He go
so
Wyoming and Park.
it's very important, bro. I can't stress it enough, man. I've actually flown literally a million miles around the world. You know what I'm saying? And counting. And I've been to 6 continents. I've been to Africa once. I need to go back. It's important, man. You just gotta see that we are all living the same life. We just from different places. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And it's so much beauty out there, bro. And beautiful people and different cultures. Like, get out your neighborhood, man. Like, it's some people that's 35, some people that's 60.
Ain't been
And
off the block. Ain't been out
never been off
the
the
full
block.
blocks that they live on.
And it's crazy. I don't understand it. And I'm hoping that we get past this pandemic because they're talking about you're not gonna be able to go overseas if you don't get the vaccination.
Right,
So I'm
right.
hoping we figure that out because I might just be a state's artist now because I don't know if I'm gonna get the vaccination, bro. But
Well, probably not now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't think I am either.
he
That's a
like,
conversation for another time. That's a conversation for another time.
but it's
Uh,
important, it's important to travel.
it's important. It's important. You've been doing this a long time, brother. what motivates you, man? What continues to motivate you to make good music? To wake up and just put pen to paper, go in that studio in front of that microphone, put the headphones on, and give of yourself.
The bad music, to be honest. And that's not to trash anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because
No,
I'm not
no,
gonna,
no, no,
I'm
no,
not
no.
gonna throw no names out there, but everybody can't sit here and tell me that all this music that's out is dope. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if somebody has to do the good stuff, somebody has to do it.
Right, right.
And I think I was on this one site and it was like these are people we expect albums from this year. And it was showing the last time that they all put out albums. It's like 9 years, 10 years, 12 years,
Mm-hmm.
15 years. And these are major R&B artists.
Wow.
And it's just like somebody got to do it, man, because in a minute they're gonna be like, R&B, what's that?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
We're
I'm
getting
saying?
close. We are getting close.
Getting close, boy. We on life support right now. So I'm trying to come in with the cure, man, and hopefully we come up off that ventilator because right now it's looking real crazy for us. So
It's looking grim. It's looking grim.
that's what's important to me, man. Making sure that the fans have something that's quality and passionate. Everybody always says, "Yo, we could tell you love singing," and it's just like I do. I
Mm.
love giving that passion to the people, man.
I'm going to be forward thinking, right? 6 months to a year from now, we're able to travel. There's a tour. And if you were on this tour, who would be the 4 acts on this tour with Jay Holiday? Who would be the opening act and who would be the headliner? Go.
Wow. Oh man. I would say me, Sammy, Carl Thomas, Jasmine Sullivan. I'd say Sammy,
Yep. Sammy,
uh,
Carl Thomas, you,
Jasmine Sullivan.
Jasmine Sullivan. You got one more.
One more. Oh man. Sheesh. Um, I have to say Tank, man. Like Tank gives a dope show, bro. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
I just want a real well-rounded R&B show. You know what I'm saying?
Who opens?
That's hard because we all dope. I mean, if I have to, I'll open the show. I don't care. You know,
Who
what I mean? I
closes?
never care about my spot.
Who
Jasmine,
closes?
you gotta let the lady close the show.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. And she's dope. She got some new music out.
Right,
So I
exactly.
would love to. We're gonna speak this into existence. I'm telling you, that
Right.
might be the talk coming up. You said it, man. Listen, I appreciate your time. This is Jay Holiday. Thank y'all for watching and listening. New album is coming. The single is out now. Make sure you get it. It's called Ride. This is Jay Holiday. It's your boy June Archer here. The Winner Circle motivate you. This is 50.com. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless y'all. Take care of each other. And like Jay Holiday said, man, we got to find a way out. What's really going on? Share love, spread love. But let's get back to some real R&B music. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless y'all. Dope, bro.